Hello, everyone. Welcome to another week on Liquidity Narrative. Remember, we don't predict price. What do? We build narrative, then identify your draw on liquidity, and then allow the price to confirm the story we are telling you. So, what's the story this week on Nasdaq? The coming week, that's the week commencing the 16th of August. What's our story on Nasdaq US Tech this week? What are we looking out for? What's is the environment we are in here on Nasdaq, and what are the obvious pulls that we are watching out this week, and what our draw on liquidity will be this week on Nasdaq. So here is Nasdaq. As you can see, as you can actually see, it will look at or starting from the weekly time frame. This is what the week did. The week was a bullish week for Nasdaq. We got to this particular level. So if we drop more to the daily time frame, what are we looking at? We can apparently see what the market has been on the daily time frame. This is where market is. As the market closed, it created a gap between this week, which is this particular gap we are looking at. So the question next is, where are the obvious liquidity we are watching out this week on Nasdaq? Looking at the daily time frame, we can see there is a high, an old high here on the Nasdaq, and market has created before closing just a fair value gap on the downside of the market, and then there is another gap on the downside before we can even think of this particular fair value gap, which is a weekly and a monthly gap, which is a bigger one. So starting again from the daily time frame, we've been able to identify where liquidity lies, where the pools are this week. The upside, we have an old highs which the market might apparently been drawn to. We have also another old high which is on the weekly time frame, which the market might also likely to be drawn to. So these are the obvious pools that the market is looking at. But on the downside, we still have the fair value gap, which market might also be drawn to. So which particular draw on liquidity are we focusing on this week? Having been able to identify those pools, both on the upside and the downside of the market. So that having been said, was the narrative. The market apparently closed higher this week after reacting at this particular level, feeling completely this fair value gap that it created at this level, and then markets begin to run up and get into this particular level this week. What next for us? For us on the liquidity narrative. So our draw on liquidity this week remain to the upside of the market. We are watching market to apparently being able to run to these old highs on the daily time frame before we start looking at selling the market. But there will be, or apparently, market might apparently rebalance itself first on this fair value gap as the market resume. Remember, whatever we are saying here, the narrative we are giving out here depend completely on what we have at the moment in the chart. The market might apparently resume and give us another reason to have another place that the market might apparently react to before it continues to its direction. So our draw on liquidity this week, like we said, want to see market running these old highs. If it continues to go high, it might apparently get to this, but then we just want to see market, what market reaction is going to be at this particular level. As a market region, we are looking at this level to give us a reason to join the trade to the upside of the market. But know this, if the market resume and continue to go up, the narrative changes, meaning that our eyes remain on this level for the market to give us a reason to short the market to the downside, at least to this place before this place. Remember what we said. Right now, at this moment, our eyes, as the market apparently, if we drop on a lower time frame, like the 1H or the 15-minute time frame, the market has a reason, might apparently just give a reason to short to this level to give us an entry to be part of this market to the upside till we get to this particular level as our draw on liquidity. So we remain bullish till we get to this level. But after this level, our narrative changes to get at least a rebalancing of the market before continuation to whichever side that the market chooses to go. So these are the areas we are watching out on Nasdaq, which is US tech. We remain bullish till we get to this level. After this level, then we can apparently look at the markets in another narrative. These are the area we're watching. We want to see market giving us reason to be in this trade at this level. If it did not move to this level, to be at this level or to get to this particular level as our draw on liquidity. After then, the narrative might apparently change to the other side. Till then, these are the level we are watching at on Nasdaq this particular week. Like we said, we want to see market returning back to this level, fill this favorable gap to act as a support zone for us to be part of this trade to this particular level, which is an old high on daily time frame. After that, we can be able to say the narrative has changed. At this moment, our eyes remain on this level and see what the market will do as the market resume this week. But if the market continue without getting to this level first, keep your eyes on this level to give you a reason to short the market. These are the areas we are looking at on Nasdaq this week, which is USD. Remember, so moving next to British Pound USD. Here we are on British Pound USD. Was the narrative that the price it's showing to us here on British Pound USD. Taking a look at this, you can apparently see that the market has run out liquidity as at Friday on British Pound USD. Yes, we might have another level to the upside on the weekly time frame, which is this level is an order block on the weekly time frame, which price might apparently get to. But where we are on British Pound at this moment, was the narrative we want to see price at least rebalancing itself, respecting this level as it is at a resistant level, rebalancing itself to the downside at least. Using the chart we have at this moment before the market resume, we're expecting price to at least get back to this other block on the daily time frame. But peradventure price might apparently resume and create another reason where price might get to like a fair value gap before price or a gap and then continue to go a little bit up. But at this moment, our eyes remain on this level. We want to see this level acting as what? As a resistant level because liquidity has been taken at this level. This is the obvious level that liquidity has been run to. So we are looking for draw on liquidity to the downside, at least to this level if before price this level or even this level before price could apparently continue to go up. But the first area we are watching also should be this order block on the daily time frame using what we have at the moment unless price creates another opportunity. So this is it. If we move to the weekly time frame, this is what price did close. It was a bullish week, ran out this liquidity to the upside, but still has a room to get to this level or even to this level. But before price could apparently get to this level, we want to see a rebalancing using the daily time frame. This is what we have. We want to see price at least rebalancing itself, giving us an opportunity. So what are we doing? Like we said, we want to be in this market as the market is rebalancing itself or lets the market changes or show another opportunity as the market resume. So if we drop to the daily time frame, what are we looking out at this moment? So we want to see price giving us the reason to join this trade within this level, maybe as the market resume to give us a reason to be in this market within this level, unless the market might be able, we watch this level, and this level to be a part of this trade to the downside until we get to this level and then maybe this lows or even to this level. But first, our eyes remain on this level to see a reason to be part of this trade. So what's our draw on liquidity on British Pound USD? We want to see a rebalancing to the downside. So we are moving downside. We are following the market to the downside. Until then, that's what we are looking at. That's the liquidity that we map out. We prefer to follow structure over speculation. While our next pair will be on Euro USD. Let's dive in. Yes, here we are on Euro USD. Just like we said on British Pound USD, what's our narrative? Was the liquidity? What are we looking at? What is the story we are telling or that the market is telling us? If we start from the weekly time frame here on Euro USD, we can see price filling back this fair value gap, which if we move to the monthly time frame, there's a gap on the monthly time frame. So dropping to the weekly time frame, this is what we had. The market even closed much higher within the week. We had a bullish week on Euro USD. So what next for us was our narrative? What's the story we are looking out for? What are we expecting from the markets here on liquidity narrative for Euro USD? Now, if we move to the daily time frame, this is what we had. The market has been able to take out liquidity on Euro USD on the daily time frame. Yet we still have something, maybe the other block on the daily time frame here and another other block on the weekly time frame, which market might be attracted to. But at this point in time, we want to see also market rebalance itself before it could continue to the upside at this level. So our eyes remain on this level on Euro USD to give us for this level to act as a resistance as the market has taken out liquidity. We want to see a rebalancing to the downside, at least even to this other block or even to this low. So dropping that having been said, if we drop on a lower time frame on Euro USD, the market is still within the zone that we're watching out to give us a reason for rebalancing. So we watch this level to see exactly what the market is going to do. It might run a little bit up to this level and then drop back to this level. So what is it for us on Euro USD? We are looking out to sell the market, at least we get to this level before we could be thinking of buying. But at this moment, our eyes remain on this level for a reason to sell the market to the downside. So drop on liquidity for us on Euro USD this week or at this level is to sell the market. We are looking at for a bearish scenario on Euro USD, just as we are looking at for a bearish scenario on British Pound USD. These are the levels that we mapped out starting from Euro USD, British Pound USD, and that of Nasdaq. These are the areas we are watching out this week. Remember to do this, always map our liquidity first and choose structure over speculation. This is no prediction. Thank you and have a lovely week of trading.